2, 1. All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for coming to tonight's 30-minute cozy yoga. Today's practice was inspired by snowing for the first time in Chicago today, like waking up and being like, oh no, it's snowing. And then number two, I got my flu shot and my COVID booster yesterday. And so I was just feeling like achy and like my arm hurts. So I don't want to do any high plank. And I was like, you know what? Let's reframe the day. It's a cozy day. It's cozy yoga. So this is a practice that's perfect for like a chilly morning or a cozy evening, or honestly just a day that you know it'll feel good to move, but you don't want to do more effort than a single down dog. So like that's the most up will be is a downward facing dog. A lot of this is going to be lying on your stomach or your back or kneeling or sitting. So in terms of props, in addition to a yoga mat or just a towel rolled out, a place to move, if you have one or even two yoga blocks, they'll be supportive in a couple of postures we'll practice, but they're not required. We're going to get started sitting up tall, leaning against a wall. And if you have this block or maybe a pillow or a rolled up blanket, I'll explain this more in a moment, but you're going to sit with your back against the wall, and then between your back and the wall, the block or something else, we're going to breathe into this for a little bit of biofeedback. So it could go lower if you want to send your breath to your low back. It could go higher if you want to send your breath to your upper back. Think about where you're feeling stiff or maybe a little bit of energy is feeling trapped, and like there's no wrong way to do this. I'm pressing play on the playlist that was linked below. We don't need to be perfectly synced up. It's like just a vibe. So go ahead and find your seat against a wall if you can. If a wall is just like not around where you are, you can just sit up really tall. The biofeedback is just a tool to help you breathe a little bit more deeply and intentionally. So take your time, get situated. And as you start to find a comfortable position where there's enough pressure against the block, resting your hand somewhere that feels good, you can close your eyes if that feels okay, or just draw your gaze softly downward. And start to send a bigger and deeper breath into the block or the pillow behind you. Breathing in deeply and breathing out fully. There's nothing you're trying to achieve by doing this. There's no wrong way to do it. Just observe how the biofeedback of whatever is behind you is changing the way you're experiencing your breath. And if you showed up to practice today feeling a little frazzled or stressed, maybe it'll feel good to take an audible sigh out your mouth at any time. Continue to breathe big and slow. See if you might invite your shoulders to relax. Releasing around the ears, releasing your jaw, your nostrils, between your eyebrows. Maybe even letting the scalp of your head soften. And if you like to practice with an intention, this is a great time to call that to the front of your mind. And if you're looking for some inspiration, I invite you to just soak up cozy vibes and take the pressure off yourself to perform or achieve or accomplish anything in this 30 minutes and just be here having blob time on the mat together. Take 3 more rounds of breath on your own, no rush. Nice job. When you're done with your third breath, just start to find some movement with your neck. Maybe you go straight for drawing big circles, maybe just a little ear to shoulder, side to side. Let this movement be really slow and curious. As you check in and observe any tension. Move your jaw side to side. This is a great place for the silent scream, which is a non-official yoga pose, but is a really great way to release tension from your face. It goes like this. Just opening your mouth as big as you can, stretching your jaw, stretching your cheeks. Do it as many times as you need. If you're drawing circles with your neck, switch directions. Challenge yourself to go even more slowly and luxuriously on this side. Feel into the sides of your neck, the back of your neck, your throat. I'm just noticing all of the different places that sensation might be referred, maybe down the spine, down the arm. And when you make your way back up to the top next time, you can scooch a little further away from the wall. You can let the block go for now. Send your legs out long in front of you. Find spaghetti legs for a minute, just a little wiggle waggle. This is something we usually do at the end of class, but let's try it at the beginning and just see how it feels. Send your feet out long in front of you. Flex your toes back towards your shins. As you inhale, reach your arms up high overhead, long through your sides. As you exhale, just hinge at the hips, find a fold forward. You can bend your knees a lot. It's normal to feel really tight. This is one of the first things we're doing in practice. So bring a little sense of ease to this. Maybe you're swaying side to side. Maybe you tuck your chin to your chest. Notice how that changes the sensation. And roll back up to a tall seat. Crisscross your legs again, opposite leg on the inside. So the way that feels weirder, it's the way you'll go for it now. Take a big breath in, reach both arms up high. As you exhale, twist to your right. Bring your left hand onto your right thigh. Right fingertips might tent on the ground behind you. Think about pulling yourself up taller rather than twisting deeper. One more breath in. And breathe out. Inhale, arms to center. Exhale, twist to your left. Same thing, hand on your thigh, fingertips behind you, lift up through your heart. We'll flow with the breath now. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right, nice and easy. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. We'll do once more on each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Spine is nice and tall. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend to the right this time. Right hand comes onto the ground. Reach your left arm up and over. Big stretch through your left hip, left side. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, take it to the left. Moving with the breath here. Inhale, center. Exhale, bend. We're going to do 2 on each side. Move with your breath, at your pace. I always feel like I'm a little piece of seaweed in the ocean when I do this. Just like swaying side to side. Keep breathing. And when you return to center, just send the legs out long one more time. Give them a little shake. And then we'll meet in a tabletop position on all fours on the mat. So if you have these blocks around, you can keep them in front of you. We won't use them for a little bit. We will be kneeling for a little while, so if you need some extra cushion under the knees, maybe grab a blanket, or you can double fold your mat like so for more cushion. Incredible. All right, send your left leg back long. Start to kind of pump on your toes, just checking in with the Achilles, the calf. And while you're here, take your right leg and you're going to swing it back behind you like a little kickstand so you can open up to your side. This is like a modified side plank. So left leg is long, right leg's kind of kickstanding nearby. Move your hand to use fist down on the floor because there's a lot on your wrist. And as you breathe in, reach your left arm up high. And with your exhale, just start to explore some movement. You're here for about 4 breaths. Maybe you're drawing circles with the arm, maybe reaching the elbow back behind you. Option to close your eyes and let this be more intuitive by feeling, just sensing into where the body would like a little extra attention. One more round of breath here. And return onto all fours, tabletop position. We'll do the same thing on the other side, sending the right leg back, rocking back and forth on your toes. Noticing any crackles and pops in the ankle, observing how this feels on the bottoms of your feet and on each of your toes. And then when you're ready, kick your left leg behind you like a little kickstand. Let yourself open up. Right arm reaches high. And as you exhale, start to find any movement here. Think about bringing a quality of expansiveness and openness, but also noticing the way you are fully grounded by your legs, your arms. One more full round of breath. Nice, and we will return to tabletop. This is the part of class where I set a timer for 90 seconds and you have like freestyle cat and cow time on your mat. So it is truly 90 seconds starting now of wherever your body leads you intuitively. So maybe you're playing with cat and cow, tucking and arching through the pelvis, letting the spine follow. Maybe this is kind of rocking your hips side to side, hinging the hips. Maybe there's something else that feels really good through your spine. Maybe it's more of this like the spine is liquid undulation. I don't know. Just continue to breathe and move in ways that line up with your breath. And I'll let you know when you have about 15 seconds left. Let your breath be big and full wherever you are. About 15 seconds left. Start to even out your sides if you're doing something asymmetrical. We'll all meet together in child's pose. Toes touch, knees open as wide as feels good. Let your fingertips crawl forward, forehead rests on the mat. Send your breath straight to your upper back. Let your hips grow heavy towards your heels. And trace the line of your spine and your mind's eye from your tailbone all the way out the crown of your head. See if you might lengthen your spine any amount. Allowing yourself to grow heavier down towards the ground as you surrender your body to the earth. Option to stay just like this for a little bit of a side bend. Crawl your fingertips off towards the right side of your mat until you feel a nice tug along the left side of your body. Take 2 breaths here. And when you're done, crawl through center and off towards the left side. Big stretch through your right side body. 2 breaths. Good. Return to center. Option to stick with the classic child's pose arms where your fingertips are going forward. For a little extra opening through your upper back, clap your palms to touch. Reach your fingertips up towards the sky like a little namaste shark fin. And then if you'd like a little bit more here, press your elbows down into the ground and drag them back towards your hips. Breathe into any openness you're feeling across your shoulders or your upper back. Good. Nice and easy release. Come back up onto all fours. This is our last kneeling thing. We'll do some thread the needle, bringing a little bit of rotation to the spine. Plant your left hand or fist in the middle of your mat. As you inhale, reach your right fingertips up high, long wingspan. And as you exhale, tuck the right arm under the bridge of your left, but keep reaching through. Don't let your shoulder touch the ground. We'll make this a little bit active here. Inhale, reach the right arm back up high. Exhale, tuck the right arm through, hover and reach. We'll do this one more time. Again, like that, inhale, right arm high. Exhale, tuck and reach, and then release. Your head comes to the ground, right shoulder. For more opening across the front of your chest, reach your left arm up high. Send your palm to face back behind you. Bend your elbow, snake your arm around your waist any amount. Send your left shoulder head back in space as you breathe. Stay connected to this feeling of groundedness, the coziness that comes from being held by the ground. Bring your left hand back onto the mat. As you inhale, press into your left hand, reach the right arm up high. And exhale back onto all fours. Let's do this on the other side. Right hand plants in the center of the mat. Inhale, left arm high. Reach long. Exhale, tuck and hover. Left arm comes through this time. Keep reaching. Inhale, left arm high. Exhale like butter. Reach through. I don't know what, I was gonna say smooth it out like butter. That doesn't make any sense. I'm too cozy to be thinking. We're doing this one more time. You're doing great. Reach through and then release. Option to find that same half bind on this side. Right arm comes up, palm faces backwards, bend the elbow. But also no reason to make it as intense as possible if you're just feeling kind of cozy and mellow. I support you. Enjoy 2 big, full breaths here. Plant the right hand against the mat. Inhale, left arm high. And exhale, tabletop. This is our first of 2 down dogs of class. They're optional. If you're not even feeling a down dog, please skip it. If you'd like to go for it, walk your hands forward about a handprint, tuck your toes, lift your hips up towards the sky. You might pedal out through the legs. Keep your fingers really wide on the mat and grip at the mat with your fingertips and then the knuckles that connect your fingers to your palm, creating a little suction cup through the palm of your hand. Push the ground away. Couple more breaths here. Stretching out the backs of the legs, the low back. Take one big breath in. And exhale, lower your knees back down. This is the part where if you have a block or two, they might be helpful. We're going to do some kneeling lunges, but they're not required. We're kneeling again. So if you need the extra cushion under your knees, go ahead and bring the double mat or bring your blanket back. Step your right foot forward, You're in a kneeling lunge, and then use your hands to walk up your legs. So you're in this like standing kneeling position. Put your right hand on your right thigh. As you inhale, reach your left arm to the sky. As you exhale, little gentle side bend towards your right. As you're here, keep breathing. More actively push both of your feet into the ground and firm your left glute, your back glute. See if you might reach up out of your hips more and then over, relaxing your shoulder, relaxing your face. One more breath in. And as you exhale, release back to center. If you come to class a lot, you'll really recognize what we're about to do. We do this in every class. This is an invitation to just rock between a lunge where you bend into the front knee and ease the back hip forward, and half splits where you straighten the front leg any amount. Might feel good to pop up the toes. Your back toes can be tucked or untucked. This is up to you. And like with so many other things we're doing here today, there is no wrong way to do this. Whatever feels best in your body and helps you still feel stable and supported while you're in these shapes is where you can be. So enjoy about 4 more breaths here. If it feels good in one spot, stay there longer, breathe into it. One more round of breath. Meet back on all 4s as you're ready. And step the left foot forward this time. So left foot is forward. This foot can be between both of your hands. It can be outside, whatever's more comfortable. Tuck or untuck the back legs. Walk your hands up your left thigh. Reach your right arm up high, breathe in. And as you exhale, reach up and then rainbow over to the left. As you breathe here, strengthen your legs, tone your back glutes. See if you can create more length across the front of your right hip. This might really feel like a side bend. I don't know, all of our bodies are very different. For me, this like mostly feels like it's about the right hip. Take one more big breath in. And as you exhale, release. Start to find whatever sort of a rhythm with your breath feels good as you rock between a lunge forward and half split. You might notice that this side feels really different. See if you can observe any differences or changes with a little more neutrality. Rather than creating a story in your mind about how one side is so much tighter than the other and wondering why that might be, can you just let it be as it is? Three more rounds of breath. Last round here, full breath in, full breath out. And then pick either child's pose or one last down dog, totally up to you. Just a little bit of a transition moment. We're gonna head down onto our backs next. It's a good place to check in with the intention you set at the beginning of practice, or your intention to be as cozy as possible. A friend of mine really likes to play a game called Could You Be Cozier? Where you just ask each other, hey, could you be cozier? And maybe the other person's like, yeah, I could go grab a hat. Like, I could bring a blanket. Maybe you play Could I Be Cozier with yourself here. And if there's something you identify that would make the remaining 8 minutes of class just a little more comforting or supportive to you, go get them right now. Cup of tea, a hat, a blanket. When you're ready, come down onto your knees or press yourself up onto all fours. Make your way down onto your back. If you have a block, keep it nearby. If you don't, you're fine. Don't keep the block nearby. You don't have one. All right, so from down onto your back, we're going to do some bridge pose here. This is arguably the most challenging thing we will do in all of class. That's the pace we're taking things today. So feet are flat on the ground, wiggle your heels as close to your butt as feels comfy, rest your hands palm down on the ground. As you inhale, push into your feet, lift your hips up, hold and breathe here. Now maybe you choose to wiggle your shoulder blades together underneath your back, popping up your chest a little more. Notice here if your rib cage is like really splayed open because you're reaching up, draw the ribs in, firm up your core. Think about sending your tailbone closer to your heels. And now notice what part of your legs are working. Can you recruit the glutes to work more? Can you recruit the hamstrings, not just the tops of the legs? Option 2, reach your top arms, your arms back behind you for a little more shoulder action. Breathe in. And as you exhale, lower everything down to the floor with control. We're going to do this 5 times with the breath. The arms are optional. Inhale, reach the hips, maybe the arms up. And exhale, lower down. Beautiful. 4 more. Challenge yourself to move more slowly than you want to. And bring as much intention to every part of this movement as you can. See if you might let your breath last just a moment longer than the movement itself. Let's do one more together just because it's fun and I lost count. Inhale. And exhale. When you reach the bottom, hug your knees up into your chest. Find a little rock side to side, massaging the low back. All right, this is a stretch that will be a little more intense if you have a block, but you can still totally get to it without the block. So if you have a block, put it underneath your sacrum. That's not quite as low as your like juicy booty of your butt, and it's not your low back. It's that triangle at the base of your spine. And then you're going to send the right foot long on the ground and hug the left knee up and in. So if you've got no block, you can just be laying straight down on the ground. So start by breathing here, really squeezing the left knee in and out towards your armpit a little bit. Maybe you even make this a little more of an active stretch where you're pulling in with your hands, but you resist the pull by pushing your knee into your hands. See how that feels? And while you keep that engagement, think about stretching your right leg as long away from you as you can. Maybe your heel is a little bit off the ground, maybe not. Breathe here. When you're ready to switch out your sides, gently bring the right leg in and then send the left leg long. Squeeze your right knee into your chest and then slightly out towards your armpit. Make this as active of a stretch as feels right to you today. And as you relax through your shoulders and your face, think about actively elongating the left leg. You're lengthening the hip flexors on your left side while you bring a little compression and external rotation to the right hip. 3 breaths here. When you're ready, bring the left knee in, both feet rest on the ground, remove the block from beneath you. Hug both knees into your chest, just neutralizing the hips a little bit, bringing them back to center. Your last little stretch here, happy baby pose. Send your feet up towards the sky. Finding whatever movement feels good here. And it wouldn't be cozy yoga without a really cozy shavasana. So you start to think about heading to a comfortable resting place. Maybe it's on your back, maybe it's on your side. Maybe you want to go curl up on the couch that's nearby. I support you advocating for your own comfort. And it'll be short because I know we're close to time. I'll set a timer. Hug your knees into your chest, pull yourself into a teeny tiny ball. And when you are ready, unleash into your final resting pose, maybe covering yourself with a blankie, finding a pillow. And I'll guide you through just a brief body scan and then let you soak up the rest of the time in silence. And close your eyes if that feels okay to you. Take a big breath in. And let the exhale come out your mouth, just enjoying the feeling of having stopped, of having nothing to do. Let your body grow heavier as you start to soften from head to toe. Releasing the skin of your face, your eyebrows, softening the sockets of your eyes, unclenching the jaw. Let your tongue rest on the lower palate and soften even the root of your tongue. Feel your shoulders from the inside out. And tap into that sensation of ice melting into water across your whole heart space. Let your arms rest heavy. Let your belly be soft as it rests. Relax your hips. And on your own, trace the long line of each leg all the way down to your toes, encouraging a complete surrender and softening. I'll wake you up in just a little bit when it's time. If this feels good, I invite you to stay as long as you can. If you've got someplace to be, start to bring a deeper, more intentional breath. Find little movements throughout the edges of your body, waking yourself up slowly. Maybe you start to move towards a big full body stretch where you take the time to acknowledge any shifts or changes in how your body feels, where you're at mentally or emotionally, and preserving any feelings of calm you found. Gently press yourself up to a tall seat. And we'll close with 3 big breaths together. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big breath in, option to reach your arms up high. And breathe out. 2 more times. Your last time here, breathe in, biggest breath of all Tuesday. And your biggest breath out, let something go. Lift your thumbs up to third eye center. May all beings everywhere be happy, healthy, safe, and free. Thank you so much for practicing together. All right, that's it. I'm going to leave quietly because I see a couple of you are still sleeping, which I love. Thank you for coming to Cozy Yoga. We'll see you next time. Take good care of yourself.